Carissa Max of the Sporting News here with former NBA player and New Orleans legend Randy Livingston and his wonderful wife Anita Smith, who are here to talk about a really interesting topic in a sense that I don't know about you guys, but I feel like whenever I turn on the TV, whenever I watch a sporting event, I'm getting gambling kind of shoved down my throat and that I need to make a bet and there's a prize picks and there's this and it feels like you can't even really enjoy a game now without wanting my credit card information. But you're doing this wonderful initiative where you're actually partnering with FanDuel to kind of raise awareness for healthy gambling habits and how to prevent yourself from falling into a dark place. So, why don't you tell me a little bit about what started this partnership and how it's going so far, raising awareness here at Super Bowl?
Absolutely. Randy and I have lived experience of gambling problems. So after Randy got help, we decided jointly as a family that we wanted to become advocates for raising awareness about potential risks of gambling. So we had been doing that, and Randy in particular was taking a leadership role in telling his story and advocating and lobbying for support in this area because there was clearly a lack of resources and awareness. So when we were introduced to FanDuel and we realized that they actually had very similar goals to us, which we were surprised by at first, but then after a few conversations with them, it became very evident that we're on the same page. We shared the same mission, and by creating a partnership with them, we would be able to amplify the message that we're saying already anyway. And now with their help, we can tell more people about it.
Nice. Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. I think, I had been advocating for years, and I think when we talked to FanDuel, we had shared goals about, how we want to get the message out. But also the most important thing is how to have conversations about a uncomfortable topic. That's a taboo topic still today. And I think we have been able to do that with FanDuel to amplify the message. And then whether it's parents, whether it's mentors, whether it's guardians, and then in my case, if it's coaches now, how to have these conversations. And so we started the Trusted Voices program to make sure that's a easy navigation resources for parents, like I said, and coaches to be able to go on and get information about how to have those conversations. It's no different than having a conversation with a parent having a conversation with their kid about drinking and driving. We want to make it a normalized thing. And I think it's been very, very eye-opening, and we really want to continue these efforts.
And I think you're right. There is still a stigma around it as far as I think when people hear that you think you have to have a gambling addiction, right? But it's not always that black and white. There's that high you get from you win, and then you just want to keep on doing it. So, what are some best practices that you have that you kind of instill in the people who are engaging in this program to know when to stop, know when to not place that other bet, know when to not add more money to the account, and just realize that, okay, just take the loss, bud, and walk away.
I think I think the key to that is play within your budget. Well, firstly, set a budget and then play within it. And what FanDuel has is some tools within their app that assists you in doing that. So you can set spending limits. You can also use the My Spend tool within the app to have a very clear inventory of what you've done, when, what you've won, what you've lost. And by bringing awareness to it yourself, the idea is that through information, you'll be able to make better choices.
I would also like that, and it's one of my favorites. And I think gambling should always be a form of entertainment and not income. A lot of people go that, okay, I'm going to make a lot of money off of gambling. And so I think if we can keep that in mind, I think it's important. And I also think it's important for, in my case, with coaches and even family members, parents, don't glamorize gambling, especially in front of kids. I think because it comes with some emotional ties. When you win, you're high. When you lose, you're low. And we know that, we want kids to kind of be even kill all the time and just use it as entertainment.
And we're seeing sports betting expand. I live in North Carolina. It was just legalized there. So there are billboards everywhere, there are commercials everywhere. And again, it's really being pushed. There's the private companies like your FanDuel and your DraftKings who are pushing this, but then when you see it on a league level, and you're seeing the NFL endorse it and NBA, Do you think that that's detrimental to the fan base, especially the young, impressionable fan base, that they feel like in order to be an engaged fan, they have to gamble, they have to be on these platforms, and they have to be betting on the game?
I think that's why our voices and trusted voices are really important, because we want to make it comfortable conversations about, the warning signs and risks that come associated with it. We know, some people may win all the time, but we know eventually gambling, there's losses. There's things that, occur when you continue to gamble. And so I think it's an important time now and that just to educate people and just have resources for them. I think it's up to the individual person or family to use the information how they see fit, but at least it's there now and we can talk about it.
I would say that what we're seeking to do currently in a small way, but we want to get bigger and bigger, is that exactly what you're talking about. The message to gamble is almost overwhelming. Like you're being bombarded every time you change the channel or turn on the TV or look at your phone. You're being subjected to this message. And what we're trying to do is to counterbalance that in a way so that you don't only get that message to gamble, you also get a message about how to be responsible if you choose to gamble. And people can choose to gamble and gamble responsibly. That's honestly the vast majority of the population. We're also concerned about the small portion of the population that actually cannot handle that and become addicted and need true help, recovering from that addiction.
Well, I think it's a great initiative that you are doing because of it just completely taking over the sports landscape. They're very important conversations to be had. How can people find this information, access it, and join this community that you've created?
Oh, thank you. Yes, our community is called Trusted Voices, and the information hub can be found at conversationsaboutbetting.com, which we would like to say is sort of a first point of call for all kinds of resources for parents, for coaches, for guardians and mentors, really to help them have these conversations with young people, because we believe by educating young people, it will help prevent them from becoming problem gamblers so that they learn the healthy habits early on and it doesn't become unhealthy and they just enjoy gambling in a way that's responsible and entertaining and within their budget. But you kind of need the guardrails on first, and that's what we're hoping to provide through the Trusted Voices program.
Well, thank you so much for your advocacy for raising awareness to this. And thank you to FanDuel for joining your mission and partnering with you to help amplify it. Gamble responsibly, have those hard conversations. And thank you again so much for joining us here on the Sports Philanthropy Network.
Thank you, Carissa. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.